So we've sat down in the Battle Royale corner of the PlayStation Lounge here to find out a little bit more about one of those games that are, well, pretty freshly announced. It's been announced like a month or two ago, and it's easy to say it's PlayStation's answer to Smash Bros. But what sets this apart from Smash Bros. In your opinion?
Well, for us, one is we have all these great PlayStation characters, these icons that have been around in the industry for like the last 20 years. And second is we have a lot of interesting mechanics where you have not only you have all the different combat between the characters, and we have a lot of iconic moves from each of the different games, but we have what we call the super system, where you try to, you're fighting, you do combat, and you try to fill up your AP meter. And then at a certain point, you can get level 1, level 2, and level 3 supers, where you can get these special moves that are very iconic to these characters, and you just, try to get points that way.
And that's really the only way to defeat your opponents, right? It's once you use those supers, because otherwise you're just building up.
Correct. And there's different ways of doing it. You can, get into combat, you can use different items that appear in the game while you're doing combat, and then the level hazards also attacks the players and that sort of thing. So you have to watch yourself and make sure that the hazards don't hit you so you don't lose AP, and you want to make sure to beat the others.
So I right next to us here, they're playing both on PlayStation 3 and PS3 at the same time. Can you talk us through a little bit what kind of levels and characters that are playable here at E3?
Okay, so right now we have 8 characters. We have Kratos, Parappa, Fat Princess, Sweet Tooth, Colonel Raddick, and Sly Cooper that we revealed before. And then today, just for E3, we revealed Drake and Big Daddy, which we were very, very excited about. We've worked very hard with each of the different developers working with us. Naughty Dog came by and helped us out with the creation of Drake, and the guys at Irrational have been really great on helping us getting Big Daddy together. So really proud of those. And then we have 4 levels that we've revealed so far, and those 4 levels are Metropolis, which is from the Ratchet & Clank series, Hades, which is from the God of War series, and then we have Little Big Planet from Little Big Planet. And then the last one is what we're calling Sandover, which is the village from the first Jak and Daxter series.
So if we go back to Drake and Big Daddy, what are they like as characters, and what are their super attacks?
Okay, so for Drake, we wanted to make sure we have a lot of his melee and his shooting skills that he has in his game. And so we made sure that when we were showing everybody, like, these are the moves that he's going to have, that's very reminiscent from all the 3 games that he's been in. So we have one of his moves where he grabs the barrel and he throws it up, and then he shoots it to make an explosion to grab all the characters that are a certain distance from him. The second move we have is we have this great pillar that comes out, and he pushes it down, and anybody gets caught in any of the falling, parts of the mural, that automatically does damage and kills the people that's in front of him. And the third is very reminiscent from the first Uncharted game, where the Descendants, those zombie-like creatures that came and attacked Drake throughout that game, he converts his characters, all the other players, into Descendants. And then he has a special gun where he has to try and take them out before, the super runs out. Big Daddy, on the other hand, is he's very strong, big, hulking character. So he's really slow, even though he has some dash moves to kind of help him out. And his supers range from using some of his plasmids all the way up to the biggest one is where he floods the whole level, and the whole level's underwater. And then he goes after, the characters that are trying to swim and can't breathe, and he's in a suit, and he's just taking characters out. So it's really cool super.
Sounds great. And of course, Big Daddy is not a sort of Sony PlayStation character, and sort of a native PlayStation character. Is from 2K and Irrational. What kind of approach have you taken to that? And is that something you want to bring in more of, or are you going to stay mostly with the PlayStation characters?
So the whole goal of this game is we want it to be a celebration of PlayStation history. So it's not only Sony characters, but we also want to bring third-party characters. And Big Daddy is our first third-party character that we're bringing in. We'll have some others to reveal later on, but right now he's our first third-party, and Irrational has been great working with us. They've been there every step of the way, and give their comments, and we go back and forth. So it's a really good creative process that we had with them, and they're very happy with everything they've seen so far.
So how is that picking and choosing? Because you can't bring like 100 characters in there. That's going to be too much work, because you're making them really unique, all of them. So it's not like you're just cloning them. So what has that process been like in sort of What are those meetings like when you sit down and say like, all right, we're going to try and go for this one, or we want to bring this one back, or not this one, or how's that been like?
Well, the first thing is we wanted to make sure we have a good sampling of Sony-related characters. And so, you know, we put hundreds of names up on the board and said, okay, which ones would be cool? Okay, well, let's try this one and let's try the other one. And we want to make sure we have some popular characters, but also some obscure characters or characters that people may not have even heard of. So we want to make sure we have like a character like Parappa, which is from the first gen of PlayStation.
I think it made a lot of old fans happy though.
Yeah, and we want to make sure we have those type of characters. And then we have like Fat Princess, which is from a PSP title, and we wanted to bring her into prominence into the PS3. So we went through and we were back and forth, you know, talking with Sony and talking with each of the different developers on bringing them in. And we kind of had the same process with third party. You know, we were like, okay, which ones are we really interested in bringing in? And let's talk to them first. And then we want to make sure that we've talked to a whole bunch of different third-party developers, and so I think people will be happy with the selection that we've made so far, and I guess you'll find out once we start revealing more of them.
Could you give any hint as to round figure how many there will be in the full game?
No.
Sorry, nothing, but it'll be more than 8 at least.
Yes, it will definitely be more than 8.
And the other thing that I was very excited about is the fact that you can play 2 people on the Vita and 2 people on the PS3. Can you just talk us through a little bit how that works, and if there's any special advantage to playing on the Vita, for instance, or anything like that?
Well, the big thing about the Vita is that we wanted to make sure we have the exact same experience that you have on a PS3 on the Vita. And since the system is so powerful and it's so great, we were like, oh yeah, this will be easy development doing it. And so we started working on that probably maybe I think it was maybe up to 6 months or a year after we started working on the PS3 version. And the conversion, at first we were like, okay, can we do all this? But it was working out great. And are there any advantages? Depends on how good you are, you know. The good thing about playing on the Vita or playing on the PS3 is that you're going to have that same experience. And so you can play with 4 Vitas against each other, or it could be, you know, 3 people on the PS3, 1 on the Vita. Right now on the show floor, what we're showing is, you know, 2 people on the PS3 and 2 people on the Vita, and they can connect and play, and they have the same exact experience. And so that's what we're happy about. So.
And are you sort of for players who want to have both games and be able to play, and do you have any plans for that to sort of aid that, or?
We do. Like if somebody purchased both the Vita, we do, but we haven't announced anything yet. But there'll be some special stuff for people that get both versions of the game.
That's a beautiful smile right there. Thank you very much for your time. I'm looking forward to it.
Drop in.